y'all, it's Charlene from the Crafty Art Shack, and we're back. If you haven't noticed, we are only doing videos on Wednesdays right now, and they'll only be on Wednesdays until further notice. So let's talk about the video we're doing today. We are going to take some of our things that are from our bathroom and mostly from our craft room, and we are going to make something that we can use around the house. And this is not a typical craft, but it is a craft that I'm going to do with y'all, because you'll be able to use this around your house to help clean things, but you'll also be able to use it in your craft room and in your computer area and your work area, because this stuff works really good for cleaning up and cracks and stuff that you can't reach. So let's get busy making this. I like to call this, it's not slime, but it's like a slime, and it draws all the stuff out of the cracks and stuff when you use it. So it's the first time I've made this one. So let's get started with this recipe. Here's what you're going to need. You're going to need some contact solution. Yeah, that's what it's called. You'll need some Arm & Hammer baking soda. You don't need a box this big. You're going to need 4 ounces of glue. This size glue is fine, but I always, because I do crafts a lot, buy my glue in a large bottle like this, and then I put a pump on it like this, and I always keep my little bottle like this, and when I empty it, then I just take and undo the cap and fill my bottle back up, and there's no mess. You don't have to try pouring it from here into this little bitty bottle like this. So this works really great. That's just the side note. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 4 ounces of glue. You're going to need a jar or some plastic bag to put your stuff in after you make it. You're going to need something to mix it in. You're going to need some measuring spoons. This is a teaspoon, and this is a half a teaspoon. Okay, and then you're going to need a bag to put your baking soda in once you open it. You do not want to leave this out like this, because for it to have its full potency, you want it to be either stored in a glass mason jar, or you want to keep it in a Ziplock bag. Okay, and then I've got me something to wipe up glue if I spill it, or cleaning solution, and I got me something to mix with. So our first thing we're going to do, and I've already took the thing out of the box, is we're going to take our glue. You need the whole 4-ounce bottle of glue. This is 4 ounces, and you can see it right there. And I always just keep this bottle so I can use it all the time. Okay? Going to take 4 ounces of glue, and you're going to put it in your cup. I've already poured some in here, measured it out, and poured it in here. Okay, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to want to get a stir stick. And then you're going to want to measure out half a teaspoon of baking powder. Now this is a 1/4 teaspoon because I wanted to show y'all how you're supposed to measure it. You want your teaspoon to be level. Okay, and I'm going to put that in here. Okay, you don't have to have an extra cup to mix this in. I just did it because it makes it easier to do for the video. Then you're going to want to get your multi-purpose solution. You're going to need a half a teaspoon of baking soda. I'm going to go ahead and put it in there. And then you're going to need 1.5 tablespoons. This is a tablespoon. You notice it's bigger. And you're going to want to put your contact solution into this. You're going to need 1.5 of these. And I know y'all can't see me putting it in there, but you want to make sure that you're filling this all the way up to the very top of the rim. And yeah, I spilled some. Okay, and I'm going to pull that one in there, and then I'm going to do about a half one after that. You want 1.5 tablespoons. And see, you got that half full. And you put that in there. Then you're going to take, and you want to start mixing it up. You'll see your solution sitting on top and your baking powder. And you're going to start mixing it up. And as you're mixing it up, I'm going to put it down here where I can see it. You're going to notice that it starts separating. That contact solution causes that glue to separate from the walls of the cup. And you want to make sure that you get your, it'll start getting thick like this. Can y'all see that? And it'll start pulling away from the edges of the cup. You want to make sure you get that baking powder. See how it's now pulling away from the edges of the cup? See how it's separating off the edges? Okay, you want to make sure that you get that baking soda in there good. And you want to kind of work kind of fast with this, because it's going to, that contact solution and that glue and that baking soda have a chemical reaction. And you want to make sure you get it all in there, mixed up like you're supposed to. And this is what you should have. And it should be separating from your cups. It shouldn't be sticking. If it's sticking to your cup, you're going to want to make sure, see how that's starting to come off of there, off of your stick. Can y'all see that? Let me put it over here, maybe y'all can see it better. See how that comes off the stick? If it's not mixed up good, it'll still stick to everything. And it should be just peeling right off there. And see how it's just coming all off of there? Like that. It shouldn't stick to your fingers. If it does stick to your fingers, you may need to put a little bit more. Then you should be able to take it, and it shouldn't stick to your stick now. It should just see if we can't get it out of the cup here. Get it into my hand. You know what? Y'all know how I feel about having stuff on your hands. This is the first time I made this recipe of it. So we're going to see how it does. Oh, you guys. It should not be sticking to your hands like this. That is a flop. Oh, it feels like snot and goop and stuff. I'm going to put a little bit more contact solution in mine and see if that doesn't work. I do believe it needs more than that. It should not be sticking to you. It should be peeling off. Peels off my mat, but it's not peeling off my fingers yet. Once you get enough stuff in it, I don't want to tell you how to make this stuff and then it doesn't work like it should. But look at all that. Oh, you guys, I can't stand stuff stuck in my hands. I can't stand stuff slimy. This is a challenge for me, because I don't do this. I don't like things stuck to my hands. I don't play with slime. Grandkids are always like, you want to make slime with us, Grammy? Let's make some slime. Well, we all know why Grammy doesn't, because Grammy doesn't like slimy things on her hands. Grammy doesn't like stuff on her hands to start with. Y'all gonna be laughing at this one. But see how it's peeling away from my hands now that I got more solution in it? I'm just putting it on my mat right now. If you want to add a color to this, you can. Okay, this is more, when you first take it out of that cup, it's going to stick to your hands. You got to keep kneading it some more, because you got to get it mixed up into, if you see me, what I'm doing is I have it on my craft mat and I'm kneading it. And you should be able to go back and pick all this stuff off of your hands. And that's the difference between this and slime, is it shouldn't stick to you like this. When you get enough of that solution in it, if you didn't quite get enough of it measured out, then you need to add more of your contact solution to it until it becomes not so sticky. Because this is what you should be able to do, this and it not stick to your hands. If it's sticking to your hands, it's not mixed up. And then you don't want to use it on anything until you get it to the point where it's not sticking to you, and you can go back and clean up all the spots on your hands where it did stick to you. That's why I like this one over regular slime. Okay, so now we're just going to knead it really good, because if while you're kneading it, this is how you're going to tell whether you got enough contact solution. And y'all saw me, I just added another squirt of that contact solution in there. You just want to take and mix it in your hands like this until you get it nice and mixed up. Because once it's all mixed up, then you can take and put it on something and clean with it, and it won't damage what you're using. Okay, so I'm going to use my cell phone, and you can see the screen's kind of dirty on it. And we're going to take this, let me get up here where y'all can see. We're going to take this and we're just going to roll it on the screen back and forth. You guys, this works really good for your cars and for your car vents, your cameras, your craft tools, and for lighting and different things like that. And if you see my screen now, let me get it right here where y'all can see. No more fuzz on my screen. There's a few little marks, but then once you get that, then you can take a paper towel or a glass cleaner towel, not a glass cleaner solution, but a glass clean towel, and you could just take and wipe the edges of that off, and see, cleans it up really nice. So this is what it should look like once it's completely made. And then you can take, if you've got little microchip cards like this that you use in your camera, you just take it and you stick it on there, and it cleans those little things off, and then you have good contact again. Now, do not stick this inside your camera. That is not some place you want to stick this. But now that you've got it like this, you're going to need either a glass jar, or you're going to need a Ziplock bag to put it in. And every time you need it, you just take it out and you use it. I needed to make some because I needed to clean my keyboard to my computer. But then you just take it and put it in the bag, Ziploc bag, label it right here, and then the next time you need it, just pull it out. It should pop right out into your hand just like that. If it doesn't, it's not mixed right. Okay, you need to go back and try your recipe again. And again, the recipe is 4 ounces of Elmer's glue. Then you need half a teaspoon of baking soda, which is that right there. And then you need 1.5 tablespoons. It's very important, 1.5 tablespoons. And you saw how we mixed the half a tablespoon. If you don't get the full tablespoon, then guess what? It's not enough. So, you guys, just add a little bit more of the contact solution. And this is just the cheap brand from Walmart, to your mix in your cup, and you know you have it mixed up good when you can squeeze it like this and it doesn't stay stuck between your hands like it did a while ago when I did the, I'm trying to show y'all that it's not sticking to my hands. See? Look at my hands. They're all clean now. And before it wasn't. So, and anytime you take it out, just knead it some, and then you can use it on your keyboard. Lots of things you can use it for, you guys. So, you guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video today. Thank you for joining us here at the Crafty Yard Shack, and we'll see you next week when we make another video. Bye.
I'm cleaning the computer, what you call it? What's that called? The keyboard, and it turned on my, oh, I started doing a whole bunch of other stuff. Hold on. I got the, there we go. I'm cleaning the keyboard, and it's, here you go. Let me show y'all cleaning the keyboard. See, I'm just running it along my keyboard, just like this. This works really good. It doesn't leave a residue or anything, and it takes you off just like that. Oh, is this still filming? Let me see. Where am I at? Did it film? You probably want to turn your computer off if you do it, guys. So if you have this, then you don't have to buy it from Amazon. You don't have to wait for it to come in, and you're just using stuff you have around the house. Now, everybody always has contact solution, but usually if you buy the cheap Walmart brand and keep it around to make this stuff whenever you need it, you're always going to have it. And these other two items I use in my craft room all the time. So this stuff works great. If it gets dirty, you'll start seeing it turn dingy. Just get rid of it. Keep it in a closed container while you're using it. And when you're done with it, discard it, and then make some more when you need it. You guys, that'll do it for this episode of the Crafty Art Shack. We'll see you later. Bye!
Okay, you guys, last week we did Ephesians 4:28, and we talked about having busy hands because idle hands can be used to do wrong, and it gives you the time and the place to have that gap where you are busy doing the wrong things instead of the right things that you should be doing. Today's scripture is Proverbs 16:27 through 29. I'm not going to write it out this time. This time I'm going to leave it to y'all to go and look up. And it specifically says in verse 27, and I'm going to just read verse 27. It says, and this is in the Living Bible, idle hands are the devil's workshop. Idle lips are his mouthpiece. You know, if you aren't busy doing something and you sit and you think and you do other things, you'll find yourself talking about people. You'll find yourself going and doing things that you shouldn't be doing. And if you are busy doing something that could share the love of God, wouldn't that be better? That's all I'm going to say. Wouldn't that be better? You guys, you don't have to go out there and beat people over the head and say, come to Jesus. If you don't, you're going to hell. You're going to burn in hell. No. Win them with God's love. Okay? And you don't even have to say things sometimes. Just keep pouring out that love on them. Keep sharing with them. People that wouldn't even understand why you're sharing with them. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? You just have to keep sharing the love of God. I think this is where people, I think if you really sit down and talk to people, most people, for the most part, want to know that they're loved. And I can tell y'all the greatest love I ever have known and felt is the day that I truly got saved and gave my heart to Christ. And the love that just came in and rushed into my heart. And if you've never had that feeling and you never know what that feeling is, when somebody does something wrong in your life that is wrong, and even their parents stand behind them, and you and their parents are the ones that took you to church, and you ended up getting to know God through them, even when, I don't even know that I'm explaining this right. Let's put it this way. Something very bad happened in mine and my kids' life, and I had to testify against someone. And that someone, their parents, was the ones that took me to church for the first time and truly introduced me to Christ and to salvation and to the love of God. And when they did, it was the greatest love that I have never known in any other way. And when this person that did something wrong in mine and my kids' life, and I had to testify against them, even their parents got angry at me and everything. And I finally called them back one day and I said, look, I don't hate this person. I said, and I'm not even mad at y'all, because how could I be mad at you? You took me and introduced me to the greatest love of my life, and that was Christ Jesus. And there is no love like that love. No man can love you that way. No child can love you that way. It's a different love. It's a love, and it's what our inner soul searches for and wants so bad. And I think there's so many people there out there searching in the wrong places. They're looking for it in money. They're looking for it in houses. They're looking for it in physical things. They're even looking for it from other people to give to them. And no man can give what God gives. That love is a totally different love. And when you feel that love, you'll know the love of God and your Father, your Heavenly Father, and it changes your whole perspective. I don't know how to explain it to you, of what love truly is. But go read Proverbs 6:27 and think about letting your hands be idle, and if there's a devil's workshop. And think about who needs love in your life. Who needs to see a picture of love? You don't have to say anything to them anymore. You don't have to say anything. Some people God has given to preach. Some people have been given to teach. Some people are given to be used by God to be able to reach those that wouldn't be able to be reached by a preacher, or wouldn't be able to be reached by a teacher. And I think I was one of those people. I couldn't have been reached by a preacher at that time in my life. And I couldn't have been reached by a teacher. I had to be reached by the love that somebody showed me at that time. And it's ironic that it came down to them being the ones that treated me really badly in my life at one point. And they may have took a lot of things from me, but they never took something that they couldn't take. They might have showed me it, but they couldn't take it back. Because what God gave, no man can take. And I don't know how to explain it any other way other than God is good. And God is love. And his love is not like any man's. It'll always draw you back when you need to be drawn back to him. It'll always keep you safe. It'll always take you to where you need to be. God's love is awesome. And I don't know how to explain it any other way if you don't know God. And how I came to know God was breadcrumbs. If I had to explain it again, it was breadcrumbs. It's what this little person did here. It's what this little person did here. It's the little mention of something here. And then when I went and looked back at it after I got saved, it was a multitude of moments that brought me to that place. Put a little love in making something and give it back. And I'm not going to keep you on here for a long time. If you listen to this whole thing, I pray that if you've turned away from God or you just felt so far away that it draws you back to God. If you don't know his love, I pray that you see his love. And if you know his love and see his love, give his love. And it could be through a series of little events. You could be never saying another word to another person, but giving something out of love repeatedly. Those events add up. They really do. And they may cause somebody to walk with God that didn't know him before. I love you guys, and we'll see you later. Remember, here at the Crafty Art Shack, we're always praying for you and our subscribers and for everybody. And we love you guys. We'll see you later. Bye.